All right, welcome. Can't wait to share this really super cool space with you today. So today we get to check out the Salt Cave at Elon Roshell Day Spa and Health. You get that right?
You got
Health.
it right.
Day Spa and Health. Definitely check out our episode. And this episode is actually sponsored by yours truly, the Mark Frisco team of Century 21 New Millennium. We're here to help you with any of your real estate needs, residential, commercial, leasing. We'll help you in any way that we can. So check it out. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Super excited to be here today. We have my good friend, Miss Elambert Richardson with Elon Roshell Day Spa. Is it a day spa?
Day Spa and Health. We're growing.
And Health. Okay.
I had no idea where you were. It took me a minute to find you, but I have to admit, once I came back in here, I was like, whoa, like this is wild. And you gave me the grand tour.
You didn't land right in this room.
I did not.
Yeah, so I think that's
I jumped right in, I'm sorry.
But before we dive into like where we're sitting right now,
yes,
let's just get a little history on you and why you got into this business and where you started and where you're at and what you got going on. And then we'll kind of peel that back a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think?
My first love is preschool. I love kids. Come from a big family. My mother has 8 girls and 1 boy.
Wow.
So many nieces and nephews. And so preschool was my first love. And that's what I did. I taught preschool at
Is this
Andrews.
why we're friends?
That's what it takes, Mark.
So I had an injury, and after years and years and years of going through PT, physical therapy, that was like one of the things that like really helped me and made me feel better. And I felt like I wanted to do that for other people. And at the time, my doctor was saying, well, you have so many issues, you really can't do that because you don't have the upper body strength to do it. But I ended up not working anymore, being home, being very depressed. Many years of being home, just depressed because you have your physical therapist telling you, well, you have fibromyalgia, but that's just something they say when they don't know what's wrong with you.
Right.
So I didn't want that because no one believed it was something real, but I knew that I had a lifetime of like chronic pain. My doctor had me not work, but Dr. Mitchell at Georgetown University. And at some point he said to me, you have to decide if you want to live or you want to die. And that was like a changing point for me because I was really depressed. Like my family had no idea how depressed I was. But just laying in bed, wallowing in my pain, get up, make sure the kids had food and things like that. And so that started me like asking my husband, like, why would he say that to me? Like, I wouldn't like kill myself, like I'm living or whatever. But I read this little book and it was called The Ministry of Healing. And one part that really stuck out to me was if you do something to help other people, you will not really forget, but you won't focus on your own pain. So that's what I started doing. I started getting up. I made a decision that I'm not going to lay in this bed. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do something. And I remember walking out of my house down the street and turning the corner, and it's like God healed me instantly.
Wow.
Like I don't know, it was either this book or just him healing me instantly, and I was like no longer depressed. And then that thing became I had to keep moving, I had to keep going. So I started volunteering at my kids' school, whatever it was that I could do. Started looking back at like a lot of the things that I was going through. I wasn't really good with like spelling and things like that. And a lot of like stress from work was related to that because I could no longer work with kids. They had to put me in an office position and all of that. So I had they said I had post-traumatic stress because of dealing with pain, going to doctors and things like that. But like I said, after making that decision, I started going to college trying to figure out what it is that I could do, because the only thing I knew was working with kids and being with kids.
Right.
So I went through the Doors program here in the county, and they said I was really good with math. So I took my first college class of accounting, and I was like, I need people, that's not me. So all of my
I get that though.
Yeah. So all of my friends were nurses, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and be a nurse. So I started taking all the prereqs for nursing, and then at the end of the prereqs, I was like, the kids were crying. They were like, oh, if I can't pass this test, I'm not gonna be a nurse. I'm just gonna have to spend all this time in nursing school for nothing. So I started chickening out. However, the massage therapy program came to CSM, and I had already done all the prereqs, and they were the same for nursing. So I jumped into that program, and that's how I got here.
Wow.
Okay. So that was quite a journey, you know, obviously a troublesome one. And like, I think a lot of people have a similar path, meaning that like they hit a lot of road bumps or roadblocks, or, you know, they go through spouts of depression or anxiety, or you know, they have hurdles or challenges that they have to get through in life, right?
Yeah.
And in your case, it's kind of like you were bouncing around, and then you finally hit something that made sense. So I think that should inspire some people out there that are maybe still bouncing around at the moment. That, you know, at some point you're going to land where you're supposed to be.
I love that you and I want to thank you for humbling yourself, because I picked up on what was going on there, and like, you know, being transparent in the challenges we have in life is a hard thing to do sometimes.
Yeah.
And like Mark just said, you know, now that one person may have just heard your message in a totally different way than they would have heard it another way.
Maybe they're now getting up and walking out the door, you know?
I mean, you know, it's funny because like in every career, I think, or every life, maybe we reach, I think most lives, I shouldn't say every, you reach a point where you're like, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? And I, you know, it took me a while to get to where I am, and I'm like, wow, this is what I should be doing, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Like, I get that message.
So it's funny, that's where your story stopped, but that's obviously
That's
not
where we are today, though,
it's
right?
obviously
It's
not
the
where your
beginning.
story stopped, though, because you're like, then I became a massage therapist, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're sitting in a salt cave right now, like, what's up? So
well, let's talk about this first. Is that okay? Like, what is a salt cave?
Yeah.
So a salt cave, well, I'd have to tell you after that. You need to know.
Okay.
Right.
That's important. So I ended up in the hospital after COVID. I stayed closed for like 15 months during COVID. And then I ended up in the hospital. The oxygen was so good. I mean, that was like the first thing that like really, like, I had no pain, like, for the first time.
We might try some oxygen.
We might try some oxygen.
Maybe next week.
Maybe, yes, next week. Oops, sorry.
So yeah. So yeah, the oxygen was just, it was like amazing. And I asked my doctor, like, can I take this home with me? So they sent me home with oxygen tank. And I got to have some, and it was like every day, all I wanted to do was just get back to my oxygen, because I had no pain. But leaving the hospital, I I had another dream, and I tell you, it's like God like spoke to me, and he's like, do you believe the Holy Spirit speaks to me? And I said, yeah, you've been speaking to me my whole life. And so I woke up and I called my daughter, and I'm like, Laniqua? She's like, Mom, what's wrong with you? I had just gotten back from the hospital. And I said, I just need to make sure I was alive, because I swear I just heard God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he told me that I was building a health and wellness center here in Calvert County.
Wow.
Now, mind you, no money, because I had been closed for 15 months.
Yeah.
And then this space, I mean, you would not believe the miracles that happened, the gifts. $25,000 was the first gift. Clients that are like, I have this flooring business, I can give you all this flooring, and I'll put it in, you don't have to pay me. I mean, it was just so many blessings. And the first thing was the oxygen. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do an oxygen bar. And then I had another dream, a salt cave. And people were like, where'd you get the idea for building this? I'm like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's what I saw in a dream. It's like, it's supposed to be a resource center here. The oxygen, the salt, we have a hyperbaric chamber coming. I'd like to have like fresh juice, teaching people like natural health and wellness. And that's just
which we might explore a little bit of that next week too.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Well, I mean, it is a soothing space. I got to say that. Like, I don't know that much about this space, but like coming in here, there's definitely I don't know what it is, a soothingness.
So I want to kind of like bring the whole picture together, right? So you went through some struggles in life. You came across massage therapy. I have yet to get a massage from you, but I know lots of people that do. And my understanding is that you're an amazing massage therapist. So I think that was the basis of your business. And then obviously that was prior to COVID, right? So you were a massage therapist at that point. Then you had to shut down your business because you are your business. And then of course you had COVID. You had some long effects from COVID, which put you in a position where you couldn't work. And almost like you had to do that whole journey again to figure out how, all right, I got to get up and I got to get going again.
Yeah.
And then your next motivation was like, well, oxygen has been a great thing for me. I need to share that with the world, right? And then I guess you came across this idea at some point. And, the idea of a salt cave. So what are the benefits of coming into this salt cave? So for those of you that don't know, this is a room. We're surrounded by.
This is not
bricks.
wallpaper.
Yeah,
it's so beautiful. It looks like wallpaper.
Salt.
It's actual salt bricks.
And my understanding from I've been here once before is we shut the door, we turn on the salt thing, it blows some salt into the air. We kind of take that in, and it's the equivalent of like being at the beach and receiving the benefits that you receive from salt. So tell us what some of those benefits are.
So the salt, it's a medical grade salt. It's a halo generator in the closet right outside of the door. And that little hole, the salt comes and it fills the air. So you're breathing in medical grade salt. It's good for your skin. If you have eczema, it's good for different skin conditions. Also your lungs. For me, I have asthma, and after having this, I haven't had to really carry my inhaler. I may have used my inhaler maybe 6 times since we've opened this. And I usually carry an inhaler because I have to use it 2 or 3 times a day. Since March.
Okay.
This year.
March, I'm trying to figure out what month we're in. That's how crazy my life is.
November.
Yeah, okay, so 7 months.
Yeah.
So 6 times in 7 months using your inhaler, I think that's pretty good. So it speaks to the benefits here. I'll tell you, the last time I was here, I was a little under the weather. And I kind of had a little bit of a cold, and we came and I hung out in here with a couple friends, and we probably kicked it in here for like 30 minutes or so. And man, what craziest thing, like by the next day I felt perfectly fine. I was good.
Wow.
I kind of feel like it had something to do with being in the salt cave.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
I'm not necessarily inviting all the sick people to your salt cave, but I'm just saying I think that the benefits are definitely there. And we were saying earlier, the production crew and I were in here talking. I was like, just being in here for a little bit, I could feel my sinuses kind of moving around and different things happening. So we're not even running the salt right now.
Well, all I know is I get this nice heated seat going on. I'm ready to I'm really relaxing.
I think
chill.
If anything, this is a cool space just to come and get to quiet, meditate for a little bit, maybe read a book, take in some of the benefits. I think it's really, really cool.
So you can just because I don't understand, so you can just schedule an appointment and come in and spend some time in this room. Is that really basically one of the benefits, one of the many things that you offer here? That's so cool, actually, because like you said, like just the peaceful environment, like the retreat, the being by yourself or whatever,
Yeah.
So let's talk about what all you offer here. So what's your menu of services, so to speak?
So right now, I am a massage therapist. We have another massage therapist, Pfeiffer. We have Oi, who is she does eyelashes, facials, waxing. So she's a cosmetologist, so she does a variety of different things. You can also have oxygen therapy. We have red light therapy, infrared sauna. let's see, ionic foot baths, so things like that.
Yeah.
All things that I have no idea about. Right?
Right. Yeah. Well,
but it is a really. I got the tour. I got the tour of the place before we started here today, and it's really a neat facility.
It's really cool.
A very cool facility.
That's why I wanted to do this. I thought it'd be cool to have you on because one, I think people need to see this space, and I think that a lot of people in Calvert County have no idea that you're here. No harm, no foul on your end. I just think that we got to get the word out and let people know that
for sure.
You're here, and you have oxygen, you have red light therapy, and infrared sauna. You have this super cool salt cave where you can spend some time. And for those of you that suffer from respiratory issues, this could be something that you can come in and get a little bit of relief from it. I think that you're an amazing entrepreneur, and obviously you have big dreams and you're accomplishing that, and I think it's good for us to throw our support behind you.
Yeah, that's what.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And just getting a chance to come out here. I had no idea where it was. It's in the Patuxent Health Building.
Patuxent Health, which is where there's the imaging across the street. Is it Patuxent Imaging still?
Can I really age myself here? It's in the old Ames building, just so you guys know.
Nobody's going to know what that is.
Nobody's going to know what that is, right?
But yeah, so we got the Patuxent Imaging right across the hall here, and it's also the Results Gym is in this building. And
so
Prince
TNT
Frederick,
Strong now, yeah.
TNT Strong, I saw it there.
Sorry, TNT Strong Gym. And then there's also the dentist on the corner here.
Yep, Prince Frederick Dental.
Prince Frederick Dental. So same building.
It really is cool. Like, I mean, I've never experienced anything like this. And then when I came in here, I was like, whoa, what is this
Super
place?
nice.
You know what I mean? Like, this is super nice.
Coming from the hallway to here is a little bit of a shocker.
Yeah, it's beautiful though. I mean, it truly is beautiful. And I'm getting this vibe, you know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling like this
a sense of peace.
This zen kind of thing going on, and I love it. I mean, it really is. I said I'm a pretty high-strung guy, and so to come in here and be like, okay, it is chill. It is
That's how
really
I felt
nice.
the last time I was in there. I was like, man, I just need to come here.
Well, you said
just to get away from the world for a few minutes.
It's funny you said that because you have another room over there, and you said something about it. Like somebody came in and just to sleep.
Yeah, they'll come in and just sleep. I've had so many people that are like, oh, I'm so high-strung, I can never do that. And come back and they're like curled up on the sofa, sleep, and like they just wake up like where am I? Like forget where they are. Yeah. And that's one thing with the salt, it's supposed to induce relaxation. So maybe it really does work for some people.
Well, I can feel it actually. I feel something. I don't know what it is. Like I'm like feeling like all right, let's take a little nap, lay back and chill.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, thank you so much. I mean, like, this is such a cool, thing for me. I mean, like, I've never experienced anything like this, really.
Yeah.
Well,
there's more
so
to
welcome
explore.
back anytime.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, if there's one thing that you can tell our audience, what would it be?
The importance of rest. And
do I look that tired?
I know I do.
We have to slow down and rest. And I am Seventh-day Adventist, and that is my thing. I will work for you 6 days a week, but on that seventh day, I rest. Yeah. And it is just so restored. I just restore. Spend time out in nature with family, friends, doing things for people in my community, visiting the sick. Yeah. And that's like the biggest thing.
So to get people to you, first of all, where can they find you besides the location? Are you online? Is there something that they can find you that way?
So we're still under the old name, ER Massage Therapy.
Okay.
So you can find us online there. We're also on Facebook under ER Massage Therapy.
And you do have a Google account under Elon Roshell, right?
I do. That is under Elon Roshell. Yeah. But since we've changed our name, since we're no longer just massage therapy, moving more into full range, health and wellness, that's the new thing.
Cool. So. Well, thanks for having us
today.
Thank you
so much. I'm so excited
much for coming.
I've been here and enjoying this great place. So.
That's
Thank you. And
so come check it out.
We'd also like to offer something special for your viewers if they came in.
Sure.
Okay.
What do you think about 50% off their first session if they come before the year's out?
I think I'm going to be coming in soon. I mean, that's great. Thank you for doing that. That's a really good idea. And
cool.
So Come in. It's worth checking out then, right? Like it's worth
Yeah.
the time. It's worth taking the time to enjoy this place, especially with a deal like that. So
Please.
100%.
Please.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.